Hello everyone. Today's lesson, or this session of our learning, is going to discuss with you or show you how to properly use a Denman brush, or the proper techniques. There's a couple of different ways you use this Denman brush. We're going to be doing this blow dry for you on this mannequin so that you can learn the different techniques we use with the Denman brush. Denman brush is excellent for getting straighter, curlier hair to straighter, but it will not give you a ton of strength or stretching ability. But because of the way it's designed with the rubber base and the nylon teeth, you can get a good stretch on that hair. So what we talked about in these videos is when we do blowouts, we're going to show you the Capri way which we blow dry hair and how we take sections and things like that. When you graduate and you go get a job in one of the possibly a blow dry bar or maybe a salon that does a different way of doing blow dries, you follow their procedures. But these techniques that you're going to learn here can be applied to anybody's methods of blow drying hair. There are many different ways of blow drying hair. This is the way we do it here at Capri. We're going to start at the bottom and we're going to work our way up. Here at Capri, we always work wet hair into dry hair. That's part of our procedures, okay? So the way we're going to do that is we're always going to keep our tools in our hands. Once we start our blow dry, we're never going to turn our blow dryers off. We're going to make sure we have all of our tools in our hands at all times. And what we're going to use for cutting or sectioning hair is a cutting clip. Your cutting clips are going to be worked in this manner. You're going to take an open clip. You're going to go and you're going to glide that along the scalp area. What you're then going to do is lift it away from the head until you see the end. You're going to then glide your pinky only, down this inside of the clip. You're going to then push down with the clip, lift the hair up and away, and clip the hair up. Okay? We're going to follow that same procedure. We're going to grab another clip. We're going to take our mannequin. We're going to then take an open clip. We're going to glide it along till we see our end. Pinky grabs, pushes down. We push the clip down, lift the hair up, clip it with our clip. Continue using as many clips as you need to actually section the hair, and we're going to then come to the opposite side, do the same process, clipping that hair up. You could see we have a decent section right there, and we're going to be using that, remembering that during a blow dry, it's not necessary to have perfect sections, not like when we're doing our hair cuts. So again, we don't have to have those perfect straight lines, but this is a good method of using our clips to take sections. They're quick, efficient. If you practice it, it'll work out for you. So there's two techniques that we're going to be demonstrating at this area here in the nape area, and that is with our Denman brush. The first technique I'm going to teach you, your brush is going to be held by the handle. Using your thumb on the side, we're going to be gripping the brush and we're going to be using our wrist. Everything is about the wrist when we talk about blow dries. So I'm going to take my Denman brush, I'm going to be coming from underneath, and we're going to be pulling the hair and stretching that hair from the roots out to the ends. Just like in every other blow dry we teach you here at Capri, we want to make sure that when you start your blow dry, the blow dryer is always following the brush. We are going to make sure that the root area dries first, then the mid-lengths, and then the ends. Makes sense because the weakest area of everyone's hair is the ends, so we want the least amount of heat on that. We have the healthiest hair at the root that just recently grew out of our head, so we want to make sure that we get that dry first. The other thing about drying the roots first is that you're going to always, that's your support system for your volume in their hair blowouts. So we're going to do the roots to the mid-lengths to the ends. Here we go. So as you can see, we've got our area dried. We have a little tuck under there with our brush where you saw me just take a bend to it underneath. The other thing you might have noticed is I was taking some of the heat out of the blow dryer, out of the hair. And the way we do that is the blow dryers you get here at Capri do not have a push button to cool off the blow dryers. So when the hair is weak, the hair is heated up. It's considered weak because the H bonds are broken. So when we use the back of our blow dryers to suck the heat out of it. It'll help set the hair and reharden those H-bonds so that they give you a better set. The other technique that I'm going to show you now is where we're going to actually take the Denman brush, and we're going to not stand in front of our client like we were here using this technique. We're actually going to stand to the side here. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab the hair with our brush. We're going to roll it around the teeth of the brush, and we're going to be pulling it down this way. So this is a slightly different technique, but it gives you a little bit more pulling power because of the way in which we're wrapping that hair around the teeth of that brush and pulling as we go down. So I'm going to now take this technique and I'm going to show you the second technique that we use with a Denman brush. Here we go. So once we get done with our first section of hair over here, what we're going to then do is we're going to be taking down the hair. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the last clip we put in. We're going to grab it, open it up, place it in our hand with our brush. We're going to then take our second clip down and again holding it in our hand. The last clip does come down, and if you have a problem with the hair coming down, you could always use your closed clip just to pull that hair down. We're going to start in the same position we did earlier. We're going to go right to this area here. We're going to again open our clip, look for the end, grab with our pinky, and now we take that hair down. Okay, so here we go, and there it is. We're going to continue that by opening our clip, bringing the hair across, look for the end, pick that hair up, and we're going to follow suit with the last clip, following that all the way to the other side here, up and out of our way, and we have our next section of hair coming down. I'm going to now start blow drying it again using those two techniques because we're just going in to do a tuck under. Once we get above that, we'll discuss a little bit more how we're going to change directions with our brush. So what we're going to do is you can see that I took my next section down using the same procedures as we showed you at the very beginning using my clips. And what we're going to do now is I've left a triangle out through the top area. And what we're going to do is we're going to be blow drying the sides, and then rather than tucking it under like we've been doing, what we're going to do is we're actually going to be blow drying this hair back away from the face. And what I want you to take note of is when we take the sections for this, they're going to be on a diagonal, meaning that I'm not going to take a vertical section straight up and down. You're not going to see me using my brush straight back vertically like this. You're actually going to see the brush coming up and in. And the reason why we do that is to go anti-gravity. Anti-gravity because this hairstyle is going to tend to fall with gravity. So if I blow dry this up and in versus just straight back, I'm going to get a more voluminous style that's going to last longer for my client. And that's going to make you better than the average hairdresser. So when you watch this video or when you're watching this technique of what I'm doing now, pay attention to the way in which I'm taking diagonal sections and the brush is working up and into the crown area here. And we're going to do this side first. The technique that you see with the brush is I'm going to be what we call crimping the brush, and I'm going to be coming in and I'm going to be using a backward and forward motion. So I'm going to be grabbing that hair, wrapping it around those teeth, similar to what we did down here, bringing it down. So it's the same motion, wrapping it around the teeth, but in this case, we're going up and in with the direction. What we're going to do is we're going to go over to the other side now, and I'm going to show you how we can blow dry this using our strong hand as we do it. Again, when you talk about working with the brush in your strong hand, I was always taught first to always make sure that I have the brush in my strong hand and that I'm going to blow dry it using the strong hand with the brush at all times. So for me to do that on this side as a righty, what I have to do is I have to switch my blow dryer from this position to this position, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to be bringing my arm up, following the same procedure by hooking that hair but rolling it out this way. So I'm going to show you that technique. So while I was being trained and I was taught how to use that brush that way, I found it very awkward, and what I decided to do is to try and switch up things and become ambidextrous. I was told by my uncle I could never be ambidextrous or be as good with my weak hand with my brush. But I did tend to get good results when I was a hairdresser out there working in the salon. So I did learn to, on the opposite side of the head of a client, switch hands and put my blow dryer in my strong hand and my brush in my weak hand, following the same process. And I'm going to now show you that technique as well. Either one is acceptable as long as you can get the results you need. Okay, so we are done with this side of our mannequin now, and we're going to now go into our last part, which is the top area of this mannequin. And we're going to now show you how we can blow dry the crown area, and we're going to work from our crown area to our front hairline. So I'm going to drop that section there, and I'm going to be picking up hair steadily from behind and working our way forward. So watch as I use this brush, and I'm going to use the same idea, the crimping technique. We're going to grab that hair, lift it up forward, and then blow dry it up and around. So here we go. We are going to stand to the side of our mannequin as we do this. Okay, so that brings us to the end of our blowout with our Denman brush. Again, it's all about the technique that we want you to get good at. The styles are different on everybody who you work on as far as clients go. But the idea here is not necessarily the results that we're trying to achieve, but actually you getting good at your techniques. So that is the Denman brush. That brings us to the end of our blowout. We're going to move on to the next brush that you're going to learn about.